Known for the stormy skies that frequent the territories throughout the year.
I hope I don't poop in my pants. That's all I gotta say.
It's also a region once defined by the rise of an angsty subculture.
So tonight is controversy.
And known around the globe as a beacon of technological innovation.
In 1990, I used to be a big fan of Twin Peaks, the show.
Yeah, that's right.
Our ultimate goal is to earn referrals and repeat business, and you don't do that if you don't do the best job possible.
Barb Pexa is taking you on this once-in-a-lifetime journey. Whether finding your next home, your favorite venue, or simply living your American dream, you can do it in the Pacific Northwest. From the Puget Sound to the Cascade Mountains to the booming metropolis of Seattle, there's a little something for everyone.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain of the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about the show? It's totally unscripted.
Thanks for coming.
It is freezing.
I'm sure it's a little bit colder than San Diego,
Absolutely.
isn't it?
I don't know if I have enough warm or clothes on me, but we'll do what we can, right?
We'll just do our best. I thought we'd start here. This is here the home of the Snoqualmie Falls at the Salish Lodge. It's one of the most visited spots in all of the greater Seattle area. And one of my favorites is back in 1990, I used to be a big fan of Twin Peaks, the show.
Yeah, that's right.
It's gotten a great cult following, and I think it's really cool, kind of dark and stormy and funky Pacific Northwest. So I thought we'd check it out.
Awesome, that's it.
Okay. One of my favorite things to bring all my new clients to here is the falls. I think it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's so picturesque, the scenery itself. I love it.
It is. So right down here we've got the main falls.
Okay.
It falls way, way, way down there. The water is really flowing at a high rate today because we've had a lot of rain in the area. And it's really beautiful. From these windows right here at the Salish Lodge, you can have a really fantastic meal. The Salish is a high-end luxury boutique hotel.
Very nice.
No, just find the light in honesty, 'cause I've never been good at telling stories. Yeah, we're gonna ride this wave until it breaks. We're gonna drive all day. We're gonna ride this wave until it breaks. All I know, yeah, all I know.
All right, Barb, this has been a beautiful experience. Thank you so much for showing me this.
You're welcome.
I'm excited to see what else Seattle has to offer. What do you got for me?
Next, we're going to head down to Seattle on Lake Union, and we're going to hit up Gasworks Park. I've never totally understood why it's so famous, but it is where we have our 4th of July fireworks every year, and everybody loves it.
Okay, I'm down to check it out.
Okay, let's go check it out.
Welcome back. We're taking you on a tour of one of the coolest locations in the United States, the Pacific Northwest. One of the great things about this show is you learn all about the cities you thought you already knew. I mean, I had no idea Twin Peaks was shot right outside of Seattle. Next up, Barb is taking us on a tour around Gasworks Park. Check it out.
All right, this is pretty amazing, but what the heck is it?
You know, it's pretty interesting. This is an old site of the Seattle Gas Company.
Okay.
And they've turned it into a really popular Seattle park. We have our 4th of July fireworks here.
Very cool, very cool. And it's nice view of downtown Seattle.
Yep, this area right here is called South Lake Union.
Perfect.
And part of the reason they have the fireworks here is it's surrounded by water, so the water's just packed with boats. People come here, they can be underneath the fireworks.
Okay.
And of course, you know the company Amazon.
Of course, everybody does.
Yeah, our headquarters are right down here.
Very nice, and it feels like a movie like Sleepless in Seattle, right?
Yeah,
Got that feel?
Well, you're right. So if you look out here along all these floating houseboats out there, those are the sorts of homes that Sleepless in Seattle were filmed on. And another thing that downtown Seattle is well known for that's fairly unique.
Yeah, for sure. It's just that unique look of real estate, and also just like the atmosphere is a different change from what I'm used to anyway in San Diego, right?
So yeah, I think it's a really cool part of Seattle. It's artistic and edgy and industrial. Oh my God, is that a drone up there?
Where? Oh, yeah.
Did somebody crash their drone on it? Found a piece of equipment to lose. Hey Diane, and this is the house I've been talking about, wanting to show you.
Very nice.
We are up here in Bellevue on Cougar Mountain.
Okay.
And this home is built by the Buchan builders, and they're a real classic traditional builder in Seattle. They do mostly high-end listings.
I've noticed, it's got that classic look to it, right? The vintage, but also traditional form of it.
It's very traditional. They make it just modern enough. With all the great top-of-the-line appliances and fixtures, but in a very traditional mode. But hands down, my favorite space in this house is the outdoor living room.
Of course, nice.
As you know, we're in Seattle and we get a lot of rain. So I think all home builders should put these outdoor living rooms in their houses. It's got
covered all the way through. Oh, that's cool.
Covered all the way through, gas fireplace, gas heaters. And a 48-inch grill with hood system, which is fantastic.
What type of buyer do you see purchasing this home?
My guess is probably a family, something like that. But with the main floor ensuite room, we can also have
like a
multi-generational living.
Perfect.
Which is really big in I would say these days in this part of the country.
All right, Barb, rumor has it that you do something special for your buyers. What is it?
We cater and host our buyers' housewarming parties as their thank you present for choosing to work with our team. I come from the restaurant business, and it was a perfect carryover for high-end customer service, sociability. It's just the highlight of their process, we think. We send out the invitations, we send out the thank you cards, we get to mingle and meet all of their favorite family and friends, and it's really a lot of fun. Sometimes we have a little bit too much fun, but that's how we think we have a great customer base.
Well, nothing like, you're working with these clients and buyers, right? So you get to know them in the process of buying their home. So what better way than to throw them a party in their housewarming party?
We could not agree more. And it seems almost sacrilegious not to take that process all the way through and help them celebrate. We cater it, we bring wine, we bring Prosecco, we do a toast. We even have cute little aprons we've made with our team logo and our names. So we really have a lot of fun with it.
Good for you, that sounds great.
Yeah.
We live just at the trailhead of one of the many trails that run along Cougar Mountain. And you walk among huge maples and evergreens. Maple leaves as big as your head, they're just giant. This home, which sits on Cougar Mountain, 1,000 feet above Lake Sammamish, and with a beautiful view of a 10,700-foot volcano called Mount Baker, which is snow-covered year-round. I love to write thrillers that are really a combination of really good stories, interesting characters, very dynamic human conflict, but also on the edge of science. And the Seattle area is very vital to that, with the University of Washington, with the Primate Research Center, with the very modern architecture that blends in with the very old architecture. It provided a very good setting, and you could really get the feel of Seattle and the surrounding area. But also, it entered into the conflict and the challenges of, trying to move across all those different terrains and meet some of the challenges that we set up in the book. You could almost feel the oxygen levels go up and the stress levels go down. And that is how I would sell Seattle to someone just coming in.
That house is so cool. Right up on the hill overlooking Lake Sammamish, that's got to be one of the best locations on the block. It just has such a thriller feel to it. It all makes sense as to why Steve Hadden chose that location. Speaking of which, if you haven't seen his novels, go check them out. I know I will. Who doesn't love a thriller? Next up, we're checking in on one of our partners in your area. Hit it. Welcome back to The American Dream. This time I've got with me Katie Messenger. She's a realtor with Keller Williams Realty. Katie, thanks so much for coming on The American Dream.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So we are talking about foreclosures today. I would love to know, what are some of the options for someone who may be having a difficult time keeping up with payments?
Sure. I think this is a really important topic to talk about right now because the language has been everything's hot, everything's moving. However, there's a whole subset of people that maybe aren't getting the attention they need or don't know where to go for answers. So there's a few options. One is we can try and get the payments back up to a non-delinquent status, so that way they can try and keep the home. We can work with the mortgager to try and figure out what that would look like for them, if it's a refinance or helping find some family members that might be able to help contribute. The other option that is probably easier is to do what's called a short sale, and that would be to find a buyer for the property before it goes into foreclosure status, and that way we can eliminate all the phone calls, all the letters from the banks, and let them move on to the next chapter of their life.
Sure. So you said short sale is an option. What exactly is a short sale, and why would someone need to do one?
A short sale is when somebody has more money in the house than what it's worth, and they're getting a little bit behind on the payments. They can't keep up. So they work with a real estate agent and an attorney to help negotiate to sell the house for less than what is owed. So it's short of what is owed on the property. Somebody may want to do this again to avoid foreclosure. There's no fees involved with doing a short sale. Everything is just erased at the end of the day, and people can move on and eventually buy another property in as little as about 3 years.
Katie, you sound like you are one of those resources. You seem to know a lot about foreclosures. Now, what is one piece of advice you could give someone who might be facing foreclosure?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. It's a very difficult time. I understand, nobody wanted to be in this situation in the first place. Most people facing this situation have had either a death or a loss of job or a divorce or some sort of tragic event kind of being thrown at them. It's okay. It happens. We are here to help. Just don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help and guidance in order to get you out of the situation. There's plenty of resources for you.
Katie, I know you don't deal with just foreclosures. You've got a listing on the market that isn't a foreclosure. Would you like to touch on it?
Sure. This is a really unique property. It's over on Watterson Trail in J-Town. It's actually just over 4 acres. It's an old farmhouse style. It's gorgeous. It's got 3 bedrooms with an optional space for a 4th bedroom. Beautiful original features, big detached 30 by 30 outbuilding and an attached garage, and it's got a beautiful creek in the front yard as well. So really unique property right in the middle of the city.
Sounds so charming. If you have any questions on foreclosures or this listing, contact Katie. Thank you again for being on The American Dream. We look forward to having you back again.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for watching The American Dream. We'll be right back with more.
Take it all in. The hearts have spoken. Let it begin.
Hey, Mark.
Ready to fly?
We're ready to fly.
All right.
How's this going to go? Can you tell us how this is going to go today?
You're each going to be tied together with a professional certified tandem instructor.
Good to know.
One-on-one. You're in front, the instructor's in back, and you are going to fly off this mountain, Poo-Poo Point in Issaquah, out into the blue yonder.
You ready? I hope I don't poo-poo my pants. That's all I gotta say. How high are we?
We're at 1,700 feet over the valley, 1,800 foot mean sea level. It's a beautiful view today. It's a great day to
fly.
The sun came out first. We're pretty excited.
I'm stoked. Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
Oh my gosh, let's do this.
To call home. We had a moonlight and midnight blue. Into the silence we echo through. I've been waiting for so long just to find you. Just to find you. Steady.
Barb invited us here to jump off of this cliff, so we're all here together right now.
Waiting for that
Frozen,
moment.
but loving it.
We're gonna repay the favor by having Barb come out to our party tonight, Controversy, Beyonce vs. Rihanna, and we're gonna dance all night long. Yes, this is Black Gatsby, and I'm Disco
She
Shrine.
is so extra right now.
And we
Cut
are.
that last part. Cut that last
And
part.
I'm Disco Shrine, and we are signing off the mountain like, hey.
Into the silence we echo through. I've been waiting for so long just to find you. Just to find you.
Nope, won't, couldn't, I can't. Jump off a mountain? Diane, major kudos to you. I'm proud beyond words. While I catch my breath, we're sending you over to another expert in your market. Let's go.
Hi everybody, welcome back to The American Dream. Today we have the pleasure of interviewing Shamus Greene with the Shamus Greene Realty Group at Keller Williams, Louisville East. Hi Shamus, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
Of course, we're so excited to have you with us. So, first of all, fall is upon us, but we're slowly approaching the winter season. So, how would you say that this is affecting your local real estate market?
You know, it's funny, a lot of people have the misconception that there's really only springtime to sell and that the winter is a bad time. But if you look at our statistics last year for our local board, about 25% of the transactions all occurred in that last quarter and into the first quarter of the next year. So what's great about selling your home during the winter is that, number one, you do have a lot less competition because a lot of folks are waiting for that spring season to come. You also have serious buyers. No one's coming to look at your house and kick tires the week before Christmas unless they're really serious about doing something. So that's good. And then the other thing is we still have really reasonably low interest rates. So if you wait into the spring or the summer of next year, rates go up, affordability goes down, you might have a smaller buyer pool. So I think if you're thinking about selling, there's really no better time than right now.
That makes so much sense. So, okay, that being said, if someone is considering selling their home, what would be their first step?
So for most people, it's about understanding the process. What do we need to do to get ready to sell? I love it if I hear from someone that says, we're thinking about selling 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, because then I can come in and as part of every listing that we take, we bring a stager out, we do professional photography, we give people time to get ready to lead with their best foot forward. I can turn around a listing in a day or two, but we really do like to have that time because ultimately our goal is to sell for the most money in the least amount of time and make it smooth and easy. Having that prep time really helps. So I would have them call me, find out the process, and start to understand what their home is worth and what it would sell for. Knowledge is power, and we want to empower everybody that's thinking about selling.
Absolutely. So what is your goal when you're working with a client, whether it be a buyer or a seller?
You know, it's actually very similar. When we work with a buyer, we're hoping to help a buyer purchase a home for the least amount of money in the least amount of time and make it the smoothest process possible. We're going to do it if they trust us for recommendations on lenders, title attorneys, home inspectors. They don't have to use anybody we recommend, and we try to give lots of choices to choose from, but we have different people at different parts in the process that are going to help facilitate it. And it's like working with a dream team because we all work together closely. On the sell side, like I was saying earlier, very simple. We hope to sell your home for the most money possible in the least time possible, make it smooth, and then ultimately, our ultimate goal is to earn referrals and repeat business. And you don't do that if you don't do the best job possible. When buyers are working with an agent, a lot of times agents are just wanting to make a sale. They just want to hurry up, get them in a house, get them closed, and get a paycheck. That's not what we want to do. We hope that you think of us in 3 or 5 years. We're only going to do that if we've earned that trust and we've earned that respect. So that's really what it's all about, making it client focused and making it an enjoyable process so that we stay top of mind with our past clients.
Well, Shamus, thank you so much for all that amazing information. We hope that our viewers reach out to you, and we can't wait to have you back on the show with us. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
Thank you, you as well. Thank you for watching The American Dream. Stay tuned for more interviews.
Welcome back, everyone. For the past few weeks, we've been discussing the dangers of cyber fraud. A very hot topic right now is called the spoof card. This is a scammer's dream and the industry's worst nightmare. This is an app that makes it possible for fraudsters to actually trick your caller ID on your phone. When they call you, your phone will display a trusted number from a current agent, a title agency, or even a client. Even a trained professional can fall victim to this. Be proactive before giving anyone any information whatsoever. Ask them 3 questions that pertain to you and your closing. Can you tell me your last 4 digits of your Social Security number? That's number 1. Can you tell me the name of your loan officer? That's number 2. And can you tell me the name of your real estate agent? That's number 3. If they can't answer these questions, don't give them any information. Remember, never ever email personal information over the internet without safeguards. The safest way to give information over the phone is simply to talk to them, and they have to pass those 3 questions. I'm Ken Martin with your Priority National Title Tip of this week, and we hope you stay safe in the cyber world.
Today, I'm here with Ryan Kiefer with Prime Lending. Ryan, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, thanks so much for having me back.
Wonderful. So, are homeowners renovating to sell or to stay?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's a couple things going on over the last couple of years here in the market. You know, number one, we've been talking about this a lot recently, and that is the limited amount of inventory or homes for sale. You know, nationally right now, the inventory is about 4.4 months worth of supply, and a normal or healthy market is right around 5 to 6 months. So, you know, definitely still a seller's market. Locally here in Cincinnati, the supply is only 2.6 months. The other thing we're seeing is that there is a record number of dollars going into renovations from homeowners right now. The average is over $6,600 a year per homeowner annually.
Awesome. So, given a choice between spending a fixed amount of money on a down payment for a new home or fixing up a current home, what would you advise your clients do?
So they really should reach out to an expert, reach out to a realtor locally, talk about what it is that they might think about doing in terms of renovations, because sometimes, you know, with all the built up equity over the last 6 or 7 years with prices running up, they might be able to get more bang for their buck by just selling the house as is versus sinking a bunch of money into it via renovation. So best advice as always is just to reach out to your expert and have a very candid conversation.
Well, thank you for your expert advice today too, Ryan. We'll be seeing you next time.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us on The American Dream. Stick around for some more.
Stop me now. Can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. I'm just doing what I do. Won't stop doing what I do. Can't stop me now. Ain't backing down. Can't stop me now. I'm just doing what I do. Won't stop doing what I do. Can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. I'm just doing what
This makes me want to move to Seattle. It's awesome and it checks all the boxes. Scenic, Twin Peaks, jumping off mountains, beautiful parks, and some of the coolest nightlife. Sign me up.
Won't stop doing